What's up, YouTube? I hope you all had a great week. Today we're going to be looking at lifestyle adjustments or changes that you can make to prevent high blood pressure or to manage it, that is to lower the blood pressure if you already have that issue. High blood pressure or hypertension is a silent killer that can do a lot of damage to your kidney, to your heart, to your eyes before you even know you have it. And that's why it's important that one gets checked or monitors their blood pressure regularly to know where they are at, to prevent all these things from happening. So what we're looking at today are natural ways you could lower your blood pressure or prevent high blood pressure in the first place. But you want to work with your doctor if you have a high blood pressure reading to guide you with these things as well for your own specific case. High blood pressure can be hereditary. So if you have people in your family who were diagnosed with hypertension or are on hypertensive medications, it's already a sign that you could be at a higher risk of getting this, and therefore you should take it more seriously, check yourself regularly, and also adjust your lifestyle to ensure that you are in the best place not to get it. High blood pressure can also be as a result of stress. So under stress, one's blood pressure will also spike and usually will come back to normal after the issue has been sorted, but one needs to know how to manage their stresses so that you don't actually have a persistent situation. Finally, high blood pressure can be as a result of your lifestyle. So if you are overweight, sedentary, have a bad diet, or probably all these three together, you stand a high chance of developing high blood pressure and need to actually take these things very seriously. So what can one do? The good thing about this is, especially when it's your lifestyle that causes high blood pressure, it's very much in your control. You see, you are the one that created that lifestyle and you are the one that can alter it. So if high blood pressure came from your lifestyle, then it means that adjusting your lifestyle can reduce your high blood pressure, even eliminate the situation entirely. So I'm an example of someone who developed high blood pressure from a lifestyle and was able to reverse it by altering that lifestyle. In my own case, it was my diet, because it was eliminated that I wasn't overweight, I was active, working out, but the diet area was where I was lacking, because I was eating just what I wanted to eat. I was eating whatever felt good to my taste. I was eating without really considering the composition of the meals that I was eating. I wasn't eating enough fruits and vegetables, and I was having foods that were very high in sodium. So let's get into these things and analyze it. So if you are sedentary and or overweight, you will need to actually become active by adding exercises into your life, at least 30 minutes of some cardio type exercise every day, or at least 5 times a week. So it's recommended that you do at least 150 hours of activity. So this could be exercise at the gym, this could be dancing, this could be anything that gets your heart rate up. So it's recommended that you do that at least 5 times a week. Then if you're overweight, you want to actually ensure you adjust your diet and you take steps to drop weight, because it is said that as your weight drops, for every 10 pounds you're dropping, your blood pressure is actually also dropping with that. So overweight person has to drop weight to become healthier and also to lower his blood pressure, while the person who's sedentary needs to become active to also help in reducing his blood pressure, right? So with all those in check, your diet now is the main issue. A high sodium diet with low potassium is a recipe for high blood pressure. So even if you are active, you are not overweight, but you have this kind of diet, like I told you about myself, you would be very, very high risk for having high blood pressure because of the high sodium and low potassium composition of your meals. So how do we address this? For an adult, the daily recommended intake for sodium is about 2,500 milligrams, which is equivalent to a teaspoon of salt. And the daily recommended intake for potassium is 4,700 milligrams. Now, if you already have hypertension or high blood pressure, it's recommended that you reduce that sodium intake to 1,500. Now remember that this is your daily intake. This is not just your added salt intake, but your daily intake of sodium. So it's usually a very common recommendation for someone with high blood pressure to stop taking salt or added salt. which is a good thing. But I want to carry your mind somewhere else. Beyond the salt that you're adding to your foods, which you can stop or literally minimize to a very bare minimum, you must be concerned about the sodium that you're getting from other things. And you'll be surprised how much sodium it is in the meals that you consume. A lot of times we don't pay attention to these things, and you'll be surprised how little potassium are in these same meals. So one will need to shift your meal focus from meals that have a lot of sodium to meals that are rich in potassium. And in a general way, you can say a lot of processed meals, a lot of fast meals, a lot of canned products are rich in sodium, low in potassium. And one of the reasons why this is so is because sodium is a required preservative for shelf life. So there's a lot of sodium in these meals, and consuming this spikes your sodium level so high that you definitely have high blood pressure at the end of the day. So like I said earlier, someone with high blood pressure should work on not consuming more than 1,500 milligrams of sodium in a day. Let's look at a meal, for instance. Let's look at breakfast, the typical English breakfast. You have bread, you have sausages, you have baked beans. Now, bread, you will have approximately 100 milligrams per slice. 5 slices is equal to 500 milligrams. Sausages, you have about 600 milligrams of sodium per sausage. 2 sausages gives you 1,200. That already has surpassed your 1,500 limit for that day, and this is without having to add salt on the meal. Then you go to lunch, then you say, oh, I want to do noodles. So you get noodles. A pack of noodles has about 1,100 milligrams of sodium. Someone like me, then I'll take 3 packs of noodles. That is 3,300 milligrams of sodium added to 2,100 milligrams of sodium that I took in the morning. That already has shot me to 5,000 milligrams of sodium. And in all of this, they are all very low in potassium. So what is the result of this? High blood pressure. And to add to that fact, I was not taking enough fruits and vegetables, which will have given me some potassium and will have also given me the antioxidants that will have helped to even neutralize some of the things that I was taking in, but I was not. So you solve this by becoming conscious of what you are putting into your system, by reading the labels behind the packaged stuff, by minimizing how much canned stuff you take and how much processed stuff you take entirely, taking more whole grains, more fruits and vegetables, and seeking out high potassium meals. There's an abundance of high potassium meals. For those of us in Nigeria, for example, there's so much high potassium meals available. As a matter of fact, most of our natural meals are high in potassium. Natural fruits are high in potassium. So you look at yams, you look at plantain, you look at bananas, you look at avocado pears, you look at sweet potatoes, you look at broccoli, you look at lettuce, you look at tomatoes. These are all high in potassium. So one has to now incorporate these into your meal on a daily basis. You have to now have, and you can have a lot of fun. You can have a lot of mixes and matches with these meals, with this example I just gave you. You have options. You could just go on Google and search for foods rich in potassium, and you see the ones that you like, and you can make your meals from there with the consciousness of minimizing the amount of salt you are putting in your meals and targeting for a higher range of potassium. So the average person is said to need about 4,700 milligrams of potassium. So if you already have high blood pressure, then you want to aim for more. You want to aim for like 6,000 to 7,000 milligrams of potassium, which is easily achievable. Like a banana has about 350 to 400 milligrams of potassium. Plantains have about 450 milligrams of potassium. Yam has about 900 milligrams of potassium per slice. So you see, you can easily get your potassium from these meals. Very easily, actually. You could get 7,000 milligrams of potassium easily Not to mention the fruits and also the vegetables that will also bring in potassium. Talk about spinach, talk about oranges, talk about mangoes. These things will also bring in potassium as well. So you are ensuring that you have a richer potassium deposit and limiting your sodium intake. That helps to balance your system, and your blood pressure will definitely come down over time. So you watch this for a month to a quarter, observe your blood pressure drop. If you still have blood pressure issues after adjusting your meals this way after a quarter, then you still want to talk with your doctor to see what other things you need to adjust in. But like I told you, this is what I did in my own scenario, and that's what worked for me. Active lifestyle, ensure that you're in good shape, and then adjust your diet to be rich in fruits, vegetables, lean meats, whole grains, and to almost, if possible, eliminate refined processed products. Every once in a while, you could have these things, it's not like you cannot take it, but like I said, you have to be conscious of the fact. You are aware, so if you have these things, you know the measure. You know how you limit the measure of these things to ensure that your sodium level does not spike, right? And it's about just being conscious. Like I said, if you are conscious of these things, you'll be able to find your way around them and see the results that you need. But this is not something that you want to play with. This is something that you want to take seriously and address. So the first step is to actually check what is your blood pressure reading. You want to know where you are to know what to adjust, because you want to begin to eat what will help you, not what will taste good only. You want to eat what will help your life. You want to prolong your life. So please take this seriously. Share with anyone that you know that might have high blood pressure or that might benefit from this information. So as I said, ensure that you check, monitor yourself, and are taking the necessary measures to ensure that you live healthy, especially if you are above 30. You want to take these things very seriously. So this could just be what will prolong your life or prevent you from having other health issues. So once again, I appreciate every one of you. Thanks for stopping by, and I wish you a lovely week ahead. Have a lovely one.